Just one question. The format that gets to the point. With Kai Magaldi and inspiring guests. Welcome today, Guillaume Wiatr. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Just One Question, the new weekly format where we want to help leaders, experts and entrepreneurs to elevate their skills in authentic communication, leadership and, of course, business development. My name is Kai Magaldi. I'm a business coach for communication and on-screen presence. And today's question is, how do you sell your services or products more authentically? And to shed a light on this topic, I'm super excited to welcome Guillaume Wiatr. Guillaume is a consultant business coach with a special emphasis on soulful business. Welcome, Guillaume.
Thank you, Kai. It's so great. I'm so honored because I know it's the first of a series of many. So thank you for having me.
Guillaume, we want to talk about, and I know why I have chosen you for this topic, about authentic selling. Guillaume, cold calls, praising a new product or service to people when the last thing they need is to listen to us, or feeling like a supplicant. These are narratives that are often associated with the term sales. And yes, I know this, even consultants and salespersons themselves feel sometimes that way. Tell us, what is authentic selling and what does a lighthouse have to do with that?
Well, to me, Kai, authentic selling is about helping and serving potential clients and clients from a genuine point of authenticity. And when we are experts and thought leaders or consultants or coaches, we are interestingly, I've seen this pattern for 30 years, Kai. We forget who we are in our identity and what we provide, and we want to embrace the mentality of the salesperson. But authentic selling is really about accepting who you are as an expert and looking at sales not as the techniques to convince people or absolutely close a deal. In fact, the language around sales is actually very tinted with the metaphor of war. I don't see selling as a war. I see selling as a ministry. I see selling as a facilitation practice, facilitating the onboarding of clients, if they wish, to new possibilities, to new avenues, to new areas of growth. So first of all, it's a change of mindset. That is what authentic selling is. It's the change of mindset. And as you mentioned, now I use a metaphor. It's the metaphor of the lighthouse, and that metaphor came to me while reading a quote from Anne Lamott. She's an American writer from the West Coast. And I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but the quote goes about like this: lighthouses don't run around the islands to save boats, right? They stand here, calm, shining their light, and that's it. That's about why the quote goes. And I think for us experts, this is a great reminder that our role in sales is not about getting all concerned and anxious and worried and really put that forceful kind of sleazy or intention into our sales activities, but stay where you are and keep sharing your message, keep sharing your knowledge with people with an intention of giving first. The first step about selling is giving. And you know where this comes from, Kai?
Yeah, I think this is.
I think you know, because we talked about this before together.
Yeah, that's right. This is a crucial point. The last sentence of this quote, and shining their light, and shine their light. If they don't shine their light, it's only a lighthouse. But shining the light, that means I show I am here, and if you need me, come to me. Yeah, I am here. I think this is a crucial point, what you underlined in your video too. I remember well?
Yeah, it's you know, it's my dad is a doctor. I mean, he's retired but keeps practicing still. It's and I grew up in his practice, and you know, and doctors don't have huge billboards, or you know, they don't have TV commercials. They don't have salespeople that go close deals with new patients. They stand where they are, but they still sell their services. How do they sell their services in an authentic way? They will, for instance, teach at a university. They will do research and then share their findings with others.
Yeah.
They will also invite other colleagues to present their practice and tell them what they're experiencing, whether it's good things or problems that they have. And they will create a network, a meaningful network of other practitioners that can refer to whom they can refer patients, or that can refer patients to them. So you're starting to hear, I just gave you 3 examples of 3 techniques that are really highly authentic sales techniques for consulting, and very, very replicable in the consulting world, for instance.
You mentioned what your father did to show his light, to shine his light. He went to university to present some things. We come later to some concrete actions, what everyone can do who wants to sell more authentically. But you mentioned also the mindset. And I think this is also an important point, because many people are running around with a classical mindset in sales. And what do you suggest, or what do you think is necessary as a mindset to achieve a lighthouse?
Well, the mindset is really a mindset of detachment. You need to be detached from the outcomes of your sales practice. As the quote says, the lighthouses don't run around the islands trying to save boats. As experts, it's important to focus more on the. It's good to have outcomes, like hey, my goal, or I wish I could make so much money. It's important. I'm not denying this, but put the focus on the outputs. So. Similar to how I'm gonna carry on with the metaphor here, because hopefully it's helpful for our audience. The lighthouse will never stop shining at a specific frequency, right? And each lighthouse have a different cadence and sometimes different colors of light. And so it's all about finding your own cadence in your sales activity and sticking to it relentlessly with discipline and joy, right? Find what works for you, what makes you happy and joyful, and that is whatever is light for you. And there is a whole bunch of techniques in sales, at least in the initial steps of the sales process. So that's really that mindset.
It's a great picture. The different frequencies which align to authenticity.
Right, exactly.
It's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Guillaume, according to your own experience, because everyone could ask now, authentic sales, it sounds great, but the classical way, I have to bring numbers. According to your experience in authentic selling, what are the most significant benefits for you and perhaps also for the viewers?
Yeah, so there is a big list of benefits. The first one is a reduction in the length of the sales process. One of the key problems I always see in professional services is a sales process that has not been defined properly, and most of the time it's endless. It is a series of conversations, and we really don't know exactly when it's going to end. Could end very quickly if you're lucky, or it could end very, very late if things are not clear in the beginning. So the first step to authenticity is, first of all, to be clear with your sales process. And I recommend specific steps that I'll be happy to share here. And share it with your clients right away in the first conversation or interaction that you have with them, either through your website, through an email, through an in-person conversation, or at the end of a talk, wherever this might be. But people want to know and have the right to know what it takes to buy from you. And you have the right as an expert also to guide, to limit your sales efforts to, a given amount that you have defined that feels right to you. So that is really, really, for me, something super important, is defining your sales process. So would you like to hear the steps, Kai? Quickly, do we have time for that?
I understand this. I'm just thinking about the question, the benefit. I understand your words and I understand the meaning, but a concrete benefit, if someone now decided to, well, this sounds really interesting, I always went on my classical way and I want to try to change this in a more authentic way. And what can I expect when I went through this way or on this way?
So you can expect to sell faster, and time is money. The second thing is that you can expect to sell to the right clients. So the alignment with your ideal client will be much greater. So that will reduce the cost of delivering work that is not aligned with who you are and that is not exactly what your clients would do, right? You can also, another benefit is that you're going to increase your profitability. And the reason why I wanted to give a little bit about the steps is because one of the key steps in an authentic selling process is to always offer options. Always offer options. And change your language from closing the sale to offering option and facilitating the choice of options. One of the options always being, well, no, it's not going to work. We're not going to work together, and that's okay, and that's totally okay too. So if you options give you more freedom to stay at a level of profitability that feels right to you, and that also equally feels fair to your client. The problem that I see when when selling consulting, we always offer one price. Is that the tendency is that the conversation with only one option will be about how, on the buyer side, how can we decrease that price? And on the seller side, it's going to be, well, what am I going to be, have to still deliver with a lower price? So it puts a pressure that is completely artificial. That is it's not the conversation that we should have. The conversation is really about what's the best option for those who serve, while still, for me as a practitioner, being able to run my business and deliver high quality work. So that's another of the benefits. So I give you like what, 3 or 4 benefits: acceleration of the sales process, higher margin, more profitability, better alignment with your clients, less pressure, less stress. To when you sell authentically for you, you know more. It's more transparent. You know exactly where you're going, so it's less stressful.
Yes. It's about, instead of talking about the price, because this seems to be the only option if you have one option, it's perhaps better, if I understand you correctly, to offer another option. That means, for this price, what do you expect? What can we add, for example, or how can we change the service?
Absolutely. An industry that understood options very, 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 very well is the airline industry. It's interesting to notice that
management. You talk about yield management, perhaps.
Yield management is slightly different. I want to go a different route here with this other analogy, Kai. When you board an airplane, everybody goes to the same direction, right? But most people have different prices. Because you can go Köln to Seattle. You're in Köln, I'm in Seattle. You can go Köln to Seattle in first class, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the options, because you value the fact that you can sleep and have a customized menu, more elegant, whatever, or your name on your private seat or suite if you're on a big airplane, and so on. So and some people value budget. They still want to go to Seattle, but they're willing to give away a lot of comfort and a lot of personalization and a lot of certainty to maybe some people are willing to fly standby and pay maybe 200 euros instead of 10,000 euros. So the destination is the same, the ride is different. It's a very good way to frame the way you can do options. So for instance, with Kai, what my clients mostly want to build a sustainable business that they really feel comfortable running for a long time, that delivers wealth to them and to their family and to their team, that makes their client excited. There are many ways I can help them do that. I can even join them in their team for a year if they want. It's not the same price, of course, as just having a series of 30 minutes phone calls once in a while. But it's possible that just by interacting with my idea, and if those clients are really willing to do a lot of things themselves, they will get to the same results with a lot less time on my end, with a lot smaller budget on their end, and still very high profitability for me.
Yeah, well, it's a great analogy.
The process, and that's one of the steps in the process of authentic selling that really, really matters.
Guillaume, in this short format, we want to deliver also some takeaways. If someone now says, well, I want to go on this way, what concrete actions do you recommend to become a lighthouse, for example, or to become more authentic in sales, in consulting, and so on?
It's to refer back to in English at least, the word selling come from the Old English giving. So I would grab a piece of paper or a document and establish and look at your year or your month and split it into 12 or 50 weeks, for instance, and ask yourself, what can I start giving to people that will bring clarity, calm, whatever you're selling, whatever your value proposition is, on a daily basis. Start by giving. The value that people will perceive in your service is directly related to what you give them. And if you give them more in value that they invest in you, people are, and it's human nature, Kai. It's human nature. Some people, there's researchers that they call it. There's a specific term for this phenomenon, but we want to reciprocate. When somebody gives us something, we want to give back because that makes us all feel good, right? And so start by giving, not in and don't expect in return. Just give genuinely with full detachment. Don't start waiting then, oh well, I gave this to this person and now I'm not getting in return, right? Maybe you will get sales in other ways, but start by giving. That would be the first thing. That's the way to sell more authentically, more in a more soulful way.
Guillaume, can you give the viewers an example, because I know you give a lot to people through YouTube, through LinkedIn, and other things. Perhaps you can talk about yourself, what you are doing.
Yes. So I publish some people will call it video log. I publish my ideas, my observations, and my analysis on the work that I do with my clients, without naming any clients, of course. Frequently on YouTube. What I mean is 3 to 5 times, sometimes more, on YouTube. That's a format that I really like. I also facilitate a monthly free live workshop where people can sign up and where I demonstrate for free and I give knowledge and an experience for free to people so that they can have a taste and so they can feel like, oh yeah, this probably a possibility for me. Whether they work with me or not, I don't care. And see, that's what I mean by detachment. So I do those two things. I'm also offering free, we can call it discovery sessions, during which I will have people test and sample a little bit about what is it to be in a coaching or consulting session with me. So these are 3 examples. Sometimes I also give referrals when somebody wants to work with me, but I don't feel like I can help them really. I'm happy to refer them to somebody else. Sometimes I will call a former client or somebody who will actually never be a client, and I still call them and say, hey, I've been thinking about you and what you told me, and here is a thought for you, here's an idea for you, here is a contact, here's a resource. Right? So my philosophy is really based on what you would call maybe karma or the laws of the universe or something like this. There's a little spiritual element here.
And I feel this in every word you say, and I can prove this. Your workshops, your monthly workshops, it is not a sales event. You give from your heart, and I can encourage people to sign in for one of these workshops. I will put the descriptions or the links below in the description of this video. So if anyone wants or want to get in touch with you, so there are the possibilities. One last question. To be a lighthouse or to go on this way, you give yourself an example with publishing content, publishing your expertise to make yourself visible as a lighthouse. Would you, another question, do you have any specific tips for those who find themselves in an urgent situation? I mean, for example, I have to pay my rent and my order book is empty.
Yes, I do. So in the metaphor, I focused very much on the outgoing side of a lighthouse, like sending a message, right? We mostly talked about this. But you know what lighthouses do also, Kai? They listen. A lot of them in modern days have a radar, and a radar listens, okay? And that's also one of the first things you can give is your attention to someone. Very often people will tell you, oh my gosh, I felt so listened, and you just let people talk and give them your full attention, your caring attention, maybe to guide them or give them or ask them a better question or give them a little tip that will immensely impact their life. So if your pipeline is empty, schedule a call with someone who you think may be interested or maybe somewhat related to what you have to offer, and during that call only discover as much as you can about this person. Who is that person? What are they trying to do right now? What are they up against? What similar solution than yours have they already tried? Or what else, not related to what you do, have they tried to fix their problem? Say you're a nutritionist or you're an IT firm, right? Pick up the phone and you have all those, this team of engineers with you, and call your clients and say, all right, how's it going? You're in B2B, say, how's business right now? Oh, learn about their business first of all, and be open to the possibility that what your clients want is not always what you think they need, and is not always what you think you should provide. Be open to that's a really key thing here. That's a small difference that we sometimes we get confused with. If you do this, you'll be able to trigger work almost instantly.
Guillaume, this is just another topic, only this last sentence. What they want and what they need, the difference between we can open up another episode about this topic and active listening, for example. It's great. Guillaume, thank you very, very much for the insights. And I want to summarize, because I was aware that you, as a French, told the English people where the word selling comes from, and me as a German, I didn't know this too. And look there, a French and a German in an English-speaking format, we explain a little bit about English words. Yeah. So thank you very much.
That's the fun part here, Kai.
It was great, and I hope to see you soon again. I have a question to our viewers. What in this episode resonated most with you? And share your thoughts in the comments or take us on social media. And I'm sure that Guillaume will another time here with us with a new topic. We have some ideas in our head. And have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Kai. Thank you.
Just one question. Thank you for watching. See you soon to get back to the point.